Be tired of the life you're living. In everything in your life, you have to have the click. I decided that I'm not going to take the exam of topic 1.
Wanna make you happy and then she goes. 나만 혼자 남겨뒀어. 대화가 필요해. 너 먼저 나에게 말해봐. 너와 나의 이 관계가 달라졌음 해. We're out of time, so tell me you want more. 지나가버린 추억, 너무 잦은 다툼, 가끔씩은 지치기도 해. 이제는 너무 익숙해져 버린 너의 안성들이 난 더 이상 하고 싶지 않아. So baby tell me why not 너와 나의 그 차이가 why not don't know what to do with you but why not 너와 나의 그 차이가 you and I just wanted more.
너와 함께 있을 때 예전엔 안 그랬는데 그냥 집에 가고 싶을 때도 있어. 너도 가끔 느끼잖아 우린 예전 같지 않아. 너랑 차라리 끝내려고 해. 지나가버린 추억, 너무 잦은 다툼, 가끔씩은 지치기도 해. 이제는 너무 익숙해져 버린 너의 한숨들이 난 더 이상 하고 싶지 않아.
So baby tell me why not 너와 나의 그 차이가 why not don't know.
Hello my loves! Just in case you are new here and you don't know me, I follow the 12-week year plan and it basically helped me a lot with consistency because I'm the kind of person who used to set goals at the beginning of the year and then I would forget about them completely. And then I read that book, the 12-week year, and it helped me a lot to realize, because we all know this, right? We all know that it's better to set short-time goals instead of long-term goals, because otherwise you're going to procrastinate thinking that you have a lot of time. But honestly, this is about realizing, you know, it's about a click that has to happen in your mind. I always say this and my friend always is like, the click. I feel like in everything in your life you have to have the click that is going to make you change, and you don't really know when it's going to come, right? But the more you read, the more you expose yourself to information, the easier, the faster that click is going to come. I had the click when I read this book, and it might not happen for you. So maybe you read this book and you're like, well, it's not that deep. Yeah, it says basically something that we already know or something that it's so obvious. That's why I'm telling you, you don't have to read this book if you don't feel like it, but find a book that's gonna help you be consistent. It can be Atomic Habits, it can be this one, or I don't know, maybe it's not even a book. Maybe it's discovering a YouTube channel or a TikToker that makes you realize and makes you have that click, you know? Or maybe it's a situation in your life that makes you realize that you don't want to live that way anymore. So when you're searching for ways to be consistent, how to stay consistent when it comes to goals, you might find a lot of videos, you might find that motivation, but if you don't have the click, your life is gonna stay the same way. You're gonna be motivated for as long as you watch those videos and the motivation lasts, but after that motivation fades away, you're gonna find yourself in the same loop. That's why the best advice that I can give you to be consistent is expose yourself to different methods, different ways. Step out of your comfort zone. Be tired of the life you're living. Be tired of not being consistent and realizing that it's all here, that you can try to be consistent, but if you don't realize that like you have to decide to be consistent, not to be motivated. And a mantra that really helped me lately is dragging yourself as if you were a child and your mother was telling you, you have to do this. You don't want to, but because your mom is telling you and you don't want her to punish you, you just stand up like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna do it. Whenever you find yourself procrastinating, make yourself in your head like you were a mom telling you, go do this. I don't know why, but for me, it's an instant, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it." Even though I have to say it like this, you stand up with this mood and then you find yourself doing it. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you this because maybe this helps you with that click that we were talking about. And now let's set the new goals. I'm not gonna do a review of my previous 12-week year because I'm still in the 12th week. So I'm gonna wait till this Sunday. That is probably the day that I'm gonna be uploading this video. So just for you to know, I'm gonna do a review of my goals. But for now, I'm gonna set my new goals. And this is what I'm using. It's mine, I created it myself. So I made, instead of a yearly plan setting, a 12-week plan setting. And here we have the first page, my vision. It's so important for you to know exactly what you want because sometimes we are so scared of seeing ourselves in our dream reality, in our dream self. So we kind of avoid it. So in this page, we have aligning my actions with my vision. How do I see myself in 10 years? In 10 years, literally, you cannot be afraid of 10 years. You cannot be like, I'm not gonna achieve it. Because if you think of yourself in 10 years, of course you're gonna achieve everything that you want, right? In 5 years, in 3 years, and in 1 year. This is gonna help us keep a focus on our last goal, but also realize what it is achievable for me in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years. So you can break down that big goal into smaller tasks. So this is the beginning. I love this page. We're gonna write it right now. So let's go.
Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어.
What I wanted to say to help you with that is you don't have to be too worried about writing about every aspect of your life. Whatever you feel like when you think of yourself in 10, 5, 3, and 1 year, write that. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's only one thing. That's gonna literally tell you what's the most important thing to you. If you don't see yourself in 10 years working in the job that you have, don't write. I see myself getting into a higher, I don't know how to say that, but like when you are a normal worker and you become, I don't know how to call that, but if you don't like your job, you don't have to write that. You can write, I see myself in 10 years being this, you know, whatever you dreamed, you've always dreamed of being. 10 years is enough time to become that. So whatever it is, don't lie to yourself. Don't write something that when you think of it, you feel miserable because you see yourself in 10 years doing the same thing. And think big, because literally a dream is just a dream because you're scared of seeing it as a goal instead of a dream. The only difference between you and the person that has the life that you've always wanted is that that person always saw it as a goal instead of as a dream. So if you have a dream, change that mindset and see it as a goal. And I'm not going to write all of this today because, as I said, I'm still in my 12th week and I have to give my all, and I still have a 13th week. Because if you count 12, 12, 12, 12, you have another week. So it's the 13th week, which is the one to relax and to set my intentions and all of that. And I also use a digital planner to plan all my days and all my weeks. I'm gonna also leave it in the description just in case you want it. It's really simple and that's what I like. I prefer having simple things. Then we have the second page, and you might be thinking, shouldn't I set annual goals only at the beginning and then just the quarterly goals? I prefer setting the annual goals every 3 months because this way you can also adjust it depending on how it is going. Because imagine if you set goals at the beginning, but then in March or April or in July, you realize that those goals were so big or that they were so small, so you can readjust it. Or maybe you're not interested anymore in those goals. You realized while you were working on them that you don't like them that much. So this way you can set annual goals again and see if you're still aligned with your goals or not. Maybe you want to change them. My goals are not really changing, but the approach, it's completely changing, definitely. So that's why I am going to set the goals again. And here we have what are my main goals, where I am now. So if your goals are this, what is your situation there? A goal that I had, which was Korean related goal, I realized that I had a goal that was not really measurable. So now instead of deciding that I'm gonna get the TOPIK 3, I'm gonna decide that I want to study, my goal is going to be more focused on the hours that I dedicate to learning Korean. So in my case, I'm gonna set 5 hours and that's gonna be my measurement. And my goal is literally that, studying 5 hours a week. And I'm gonna count how many hours is that, so I can be like, okay, this is the amount of hours, imagine 200. I think it's less than that, but 200 hours of Korean is my goal. And that's really more measurable than getting this topic, because I decided that I'm not gonna take the exam of topic 1 because I find it really simple. Not simple, okay? I hope you understand what I mean. I don't feel the necessity to pay to take the topic 1. I rather spend more time studying and making those online exams to see if I have the level, and then do the topic 4, which I feel it's way more important and it gives actually value to Korean, because what am I gonna do with the topic 1? It's not gonna serve me. So yeah, I also wanted to tell you that be sure that your goals are really measurable. I have to walk 10,000 steps a day or 5,000 steps a day. And then we also have goal motivation. Write your motivation for each goal. Like, what's the reason why you want to achieve these goals? This is really important because whenever you feel demotivated, you can go and check why you wanted this. After that, we have literally the same thing, but with a 12-week focus. So instead of annual goals, we're gonna set the 12-week goals. After that, we have a monthly plan. This, you can print it every month, or you can have it on your iPad and duplicate the page. But here, basically, you have the month and the priorities for the month. And then we have our weekly plan, which is basically the week, where I like to plan everything that I'm gonna do every week. Don't plan every week of the 12-week year at the same time, okay? And the most important part for me, the progress tracker. It's so important to track the progress. You can set 20 goals, but if you're not gonna track them weekly, not monthly, weekly, you're going to procrastinate because you don't have a vision. If you every Sunday have a weekly meeting with yourself where you talk to yourself and ask, how did I do this week? Did I achieve every goal? And here we have literally bars so you can measure your goals. It's everything on the video that I'm gonna leave in the description where I explained exactly how to calculate your progress. Here we have the progress bars for each goal, but also the total progress, here achieved and need improvement. This way, it's impossible to fail. If you master this method, if you're able to track your progress every single week and realize what is working for you and what is not, you now are going to be able to achieve every goal that you set for yourself. Also, just because you did bad in the week, don't avoid the progress tracker because you're just lying to yourself. It's completely fine, even if you have to write a 0%. That way, it's going to be like a reality slap. That's going to be like, okay, I did 0. This cannot be like this next week. And in the book, I think they recommend to have at least an 85%, and that's enough to achieve your goals. And I can tell you that I achieved in these 3 months more than I have ever imagined to achieve in 3 months. The goals that I had could have been perfectly an entire year goals, but because I set them in 3 months, I worked so hard for them the first 2 months, then the third one was a little bit slower, which is completely fine. And lastly, I want to recommend you this book, The Power of Now. I'm not gonna say anything about this book, I'm just gonna say that it's life-changing. Whenever I'm reading a book that I'm like, oh, I love it, I'm gonna recommend it to you guys. The Power of Now, if you're an overthinker, or better said, if you are a thinker, this book is for you to be present in the moment and realize that the only thing that actually exists is the present. The past and the future don't exist at all. And if you realize every time you find yourself thinking, you're thinking about the past or about the future, you're never thinking about the present. Anxiety, your problems all come from time, from past and future, never from the present. Don't overthink them before they happened because they might never happen. And don't think that every time you have a problem, it's gonna happen the same that happened in the past, because then you're not living in the present moment, you're living in the past. So this is your sign to start living a little bit more in the present, and you realize that you are actually happy right now if you only focus on the now. So with this said, happy spring to everyone. It's the first day where it's sunny here after many days of rain. I feel like spring is finally here. Spring is my favorite season, also because I was born in spring. And in case you liked this video, I'm gonna leave here the 12-week year explained more in depth. See you in the next video. Bye!
Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어.